reins of the party in just a short amount of time. He's been able to build the party's infrastructure and its abilities. And is through this continued growth that we're going to win 2022 and we're going to win back the county mayorship in 2024. It's going to be in large part because of the hard work from our chairman, Rene Garcia.
Thank you, Armando. It really is an honor y un honor estar junto con todos ustedes aquí hoy. Y cuando hablamos del Partido Republicano, nada se hace solo, se hace en equipo. Y lo que hemos podido hacer en los últimos meses ha sido un equipo que se ha unido a nosotros, que tiene los mismos principios y valores, que reconoce el problema que estamos lidiando, no solamente a nivel nacional, por aquí en el local. ¿Y cómo estamos haciendo eso? Es incorporando las diferentes generaciones, ¿no? Vemos que la experiencia que tenemos aquí de las personas mayores que han estado lidiando por los partidos, por los valores de nosotros conservadores por tantos años, por décadas, están involucrados con nosotros en el partido. Y ahora vemos todas las personas jóvenes que están por aquí afuera. Where are the young people? Where are the young Republicans? Ahora vemos que algo que nunca hemos visto, que las personas jóvenes están involucradas en el partido de nosotros porque creen en la misión de nosotros. Pero sí, no podemos olvidarnos que hay que integrar la experiencia de las personas mayores que han llevado la batuta de este partido con la tecnología y las ideas nuevas de los nuevos republicanos y las nuevas generaciones. Si hacemos eso, si traemos las dos generaciones juntos, que creemos en los valores de la Constitución y proteger la Constitución y proteger esa enmienda, la primera enmienda, que es la que garantiza todas las otras enmiendas, entonces sí podemos salvar a este país y sí vamos a devolverle al Partido Republicano y a los conservadores el Senado y la Casa Blanca. Eso lo tenemos que hacer y lo vamos a hacer si nos unimos y no estamos divididos. En la unión es donde está la fuerza. So, se lo agradezco, María. Yesterday we had a conversation about election integrity. We have, not yesterday, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I used to forget my ideas. We as a party are going to continue to fight to ensure that every vote is counted and every valid vote is counted. That is our mission, and the RNC is committed to ensure that we preserve and protect election integrity from the beginning to the very end. So, Maria, I appreciate your work and efforts in ensuring that we do that. And I want to ensure that all of us that are here, the young folks that are here, and our experienced folks, right? And our experienced generation that is here. We have to ensure that we come together as a party, as those that believe in protecting our fundamental rights. And that one fundamental right, this is our constitutional rights, and people sometimes criticize me when I don't talk about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is just as important. But without that First Amendment right, we lose it all. And we have to ensure that we never, ever lose that First Amendment right of freedom of expression. Freedom of religion, which is so important, making sure that we have God present anywhere.
Yes.
Able to practice your religion as you feel free, as you deem it right. Enough with the left trying to take out God from everywhere. And that, my friends, is where we need to start. We need to start with holding that First Amendment right dear and near to our hearts and fight for it every step of the way. Whether you're younger, whether you're older, whether you're in the middle, like me, but I'm getting a little older. So I'm not young anymore. We have to come together and unify under that band of Republicans and conservatives. And I'll tell you this, as a Dade County GOP, we are committed to ensuring that our incumbent Republican leaders from Congress to the House, to even at the local level, get reelected. This is a time to come together as a party and fight for every single Republican to make sure that we protect our Constitution, our freedoms, and this great country that we call home, the United States of America. God bless.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the chairman is absolutely right. Young people have to be involved in order for us to be able to win in 2022 and 2024. But I think that today we can see from the number of young people in the audience that young people are here and they're active and they're getting to work. And we're very proud that for the first time ever, almost half of the members of the Miami-Dade Republican Executive Committee are young Republicans. So give it up for our young people. And we look forward to continuing to work with the chairman for victory in 22 and 24. And our values are very important to us. And amongst the most important fundamental values for our Republican Party in Miami-Dade is the fight for freedom and supporting freedom fighters throughout our hemisphere and the world. And our party, our Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart, our Congressman Carlos Jimenez have fought in Washington to ensure that we are fighting and supporting our freedom fighters in Cuba, in Venezuela, in Nicaragua, and across the hemisphere. That's a fundamentally important value for our party. And now I have the honor of introducing our next speaker. This is the mayor of our hometown here of Doral, but also somebody who has fought for many years in support of freedom fighters in Cuba and throughout our hemisphere, and has led Doral's growth into one of the most important economic drivers of our county, a home to so many people who fled communism, people who understand the importance of freedom. Join me in welcoming Mayor J.C. Bermudez.
It's an honor to be here with our congressman, our future leader of the House, our chair of the party locally in the Senate, and in the House in Tallahassee also. And I think that Armando said something that's very important, and so did Renee, which is we live in the greatest country in the world. Many of us came from other places. I'm a political refugee. That's what my green card says. And my parents, when they came from Cuba, we need to protect those freedoms because we're losing them all across the Americas, and we need to protect it. Así que, como estaba mencionando, es uno de estar aquí con tantos líderes, no solamente locales, pero nacionales y estatales, que hacen un gran trabajo. Para mí es muy importante porque la tarjetita, el green card mío dice refugiado político. Mis padres tuvieron que irse de Cuba. Yo vine a 3 años y estas libertades que tenemos son muy, muy importantes para nosotros. Pero lo que dijo Dade también es muy importante. Ustedes son el corazón del partido. Ustedes son lo que puede llevar los cambios. Nosotros somos una reflexión de lo que ustedes opinan y lo que podemos proteger, que es integridad, honestidad, libertad de expresión. Y espero con el ex alcalde del condado, y sabe muy bien que ha sido amigo por mucho tiempo, ahora está en el Congreso, que para nosotros esperamos el año que viene, en el caso mío como alcalde de Doral, no es un secreto que estoy postulando para la comisión del condado, y espero con 2 colegas del estado, Brian Ávila y Anthony Rodríguez, que también son republicanos y no sé si han llegado. Poder definitivamente seguir trabajando y ayudando a René ahí en la comisión a nivel local, porque esta batalla es federal, es estatal, pero también a nivel local. Y acuérdense que hay veces, si perdemos la visión que tiene esos 3 diferentes, vamos a decir, sectores, y no seguimos unidos en esos 3 diferentes sectores, no tenemos la oportunidad de llevar los cambios y proteger las cosas que estamos tratando de proteger. Porque si esas cosas cambian, muchos que venimos de otros países vamos a estar en el país similar a lo que salimos. Y eso no es lo que queremos. Que Dios los bendiga a ustedes, que bendiga a su familia, bendiga al Partido Republicano y bendiga a los Estados Unidos.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One of the most important issues for our party and for young people and for families is education. And our next speaker has done so much to ensure for a better education for our children, for the future generations. And that's predicated on 2 issues. 1, school choice. Every family should have the choice of where their child goes to school. It shouldn't be bureaucrats telling them where their kids go to school. Their family knows best. And that's why we've led as a party on school choice. And few people have done more to advance that cause than our Senator Manny Diaz Jr.
Thank you, Armando, and I want to first, before anything else, thank you and the young Republicans and the entire staff here. Jaime, Claudia, the RNC presence here in Florida has never been missing, but it's more important today than it's ever been, because this is the election. This election, we always say it's the most important election, but this election, there's a threat of a turning point that our country cannot come back from. We have to regain control of Congress. We have to regain control of the Senate, and in 24, we have to regain control of the White House. we are making tremendous strides in our state with voter registration. I'm sure you've heard that we're almost caught up to the Democrats, and we've done very well, even being behind in registration. So I can only imagine what we do if we get ahead, but we cannot get complacent. And that's why it's so important, and I'm so happy to see all of you here, because you are the machine that turns this, that allows us as elected officials to put those policies in place and to fight socialism and the turning point that their Democrats are trying to turn this country in. So thank you very much. Thank you to the entire staff, to your team, Jaime, Claudia, everybody who's involved here. To our county chair, Renee Garcia, thank you for the incredible job you're doing. I know it's a thankless job sometimes, but it's incredibly important that we have somebody at the head of the party who understands the function of the party. El partido no puede hacer nada si no tiene una dirección correcta y si no tiene una maquinaria. No es solamente aparecerse a las reuniones, sino salir a la calle, llamar, tocar puertas, porque tenemos que traer una mayoría a la Cámara de Representantes. Tenemos que reelegir a Mario Díaz Balart. Tenemos que reelegir a Carlos Jiménez. Tenemos que reelegir a María Elvira Salazar. Porque sabemos que estamos en una situación donde solamente hay dos lados. El lado que quiere mantener la oportunidad, los valores familiares y los principios que fundaron a este país. Y para los hispanos especialmente, que somos hijos de inmigrantes o personas que se han ido de su país buscando esa oportunidad, como dijo Ronald Reagan, si esto se acaba aquí no hay para dónde ir. Estas son las personas que están peleando ahí en la línea del frente para protegernos de lo que está tratando de hacer esta administración y este Congreso que está liderado por Nancy Pelosi. Y tenemos que salir a votar y tenemos que reelegir a estas personas y elegir miembros nuevos para proteger nuestros valores. A nivel estatal también tenemos que mantener esa mayoría que ha dejado que la Florida ha tomado este liderazgo de libertad en esta situación que hemos visto, donde muchas partes del país están cerrando la economía y están cerrando negocios. Si vas a comprar un mueble, si vas a comprar un carro, no hay. Eso tiene que darnos miedo. Ustedes, muchas personas en este salón han visto eso antes en su país y eso es un peligro. Y en esa línea de adelante, peleando contra eso, están nuestros congresistas. También nuestro senador Marco Rubio, que está en la boleta este año, el 22, y nuestro gobernador Ron DeSantis. Así le doy las gracias a todos ustedes por estar aquí. Gracias por seguir la pelea. And let's not get complacent. Just because we're getting there with voter registration, we have to do a lot more, and every one of you counts, because we have to get that majority in Congress and put a stop to what's going on in Washington. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Senator. Join me in giving a round of applause to our next speaker, our state representative, Alex Rizzo.
Everyone, I know we've got a lot to talk about. The best thing that we can do is get out and exactly what Senator Diaz said. Every single person here is responsible, not just able, but responsible to get more and more and more Republicans registered. We have seen the tide over the past 5-6 years down 300, 400, 500,000 voters to now just under 23,000 voters. And even with that, the message is clear. Conservatives are on the side of righteousness, and we are right. We are correct. Our policies have worked. Look at Florida. Look at the rebound economically. And what Senator Diaz has said is absolutely true. We need to stay true to our conservative values. We need to thank Senator Renee Garcia, not Commissioner Renee Garcia, and continue the work that they have begun. Let's get out there. Let's get more and more people registered. Let's get the vote out and let everyone know that, especially in Miami-Dade, los hispanos son muy importantes. Gracias.
Thank you, Representative Rizzo. And I want to give a shout out to Nelson Rubio, one of our top conservative voices on the radio. Next, I have the honor of introducing our former Miami-Dade mayor and now our Congressman, Carlos Jimenez.
Thank you very much, and it's certainly a pleasure for me to be here in my colleague Mario Gilmore's district. And we just flew back from Washington yesterday, and everything that you heard about what's going on in Washington, anything you've heard about, it's actually worse. It's actually worse, because you haven't heard all the details about how bad some of these bills really are. Luckily for us, those bills didn't pass yesterday, but some iteration of this is going to happen. And we're gonna put our children in debt. We're gonna put our children in debt to the tune of $45 trillion in the end. We are going to also unleash the IRS on each and every one of us. We're going to unleash the federal government on our small businesses, because when they say corporate tax, people think, oh, that's Amazon, that's GM, no. It's the business tax. It's this business right here is the business, all in this strip, all those mom and pops, their taxes are gonna go up. Your taxes are gonna go up. They're going up right now. Inflation is up at the high of over 30 years. And so all of this is part of the left-wing radical agenda that is being governed by the progressives, led by AOC and the Squad, which I think we kindly call them socialists, right? That's a kind word for them, all right? But they're more than that. They want to change this country. They want to change our values. They want to completely revamp this country. Inside some of their bills, they take away the Hyde Amendment. The Hyde Amendment says that no taxpayer money can be used for abortions. For the first time in decades, that's been wiped away. And so I'm pro-life. I'm pro the Constitution. I will fight for our values. I will fight for Hispanic values. And I'm not shocked that we're gaining more and more and more with Hispanics. Because why? Because the Republican Party and Hispanics, us Latinos, we have the same values. And they're coming to us, and they're finally figuring out, a lot of them, that what the Democrat Party is selling is snake oil. Doesn't work, will never work, and actually is putting them under government control and make us dependent on the government, which is the last thing that we want to do, especially since we came here from a country that makes you dependent on government. So Mario and I will be in Congress fighting for Cuba, a free Venezuela, a free Nicaragua, a free Latin America, South America, but also a free America. That's what we have to fight for. But we may get reelected, but if we don't get more of us, everything's about the majority. We have to have the majority. Right now, all of this is being pushed with a majority of 4. 4. That's all the Democrats have on us, but they stick together and they pass it through. We have to have a majority. We need you all to go out to vote. In 22, next year, the president is not on the ballot. He drives a lot of Republican voters to the ballot. The presidential election drives a lot of voters to the ballot. Don't forget to vote next year. It's important. We have to take the House. We have to take the Senate. We have to maintain our majority in the state and House races also. And also, we have to make sure that we reelect Governor Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
Ahora estamos debajo de un ataque que viene de la izquierda socialista. Mario y yo lo vemos todos los días. Este ataque que va a tratar de destruir los valores de nosotros, también destruir nuestra libertad. Estas personas que están, muchas de ellas que están en el Congreso, que son del otro partido, de verdad, yo no creo que ellos aman a este país. Quieren cambiar este país a algo que nosotros no vamos a reconocer. Así que necesitamos todos ustedes que vayan a votar el próximo año para no solamente reelegir a nosotros aquí, Mario, yo, María, pero también elegir nuevos representantes republicanos para tomar posición, para tomar la mayoría en la Cámara y también la mayoría en el Senado. Y en 24 tenemos que tener un presidente republicano también. Porque para cambiar todo esto, para parar todo esto, primero se tiene que cambiar en la Cámara y en el Senado tenemos que tener el control y después, para de verdad virar lo que ya ha sucedido, tenemos que tener la presidencia también. Así que con todo esto, por favor, salgan a votar, llaman todos sus amigos, sus familias, etcétera. El próximo año todos tenemos que ir a votar también para elegir los republicanos que estamos aquí, también elegir nuevos republicanos y también, muy importante, elegir el gobernador lo antes antes. Con eso, muchas gracias.
Congressman, gracias, congresista, and we were really proud in 2020 at the Miami Young Republicans to help send our Congressman Jimenez to Congress. We're proud to help re-elect our Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart. In 2020, our Young Republicans knocked on tens of thousands of doors. We sent more than 1.5 million text messages and get out the vote, and hundreds of thousands of phone calls in order to elect Carlos Jimenez, Maria Vida Salazar, and re-elect our Congressman, Mario Diaz-Balart, who has now for so long been the wall in Congress that stopped any efforts to be soft on the left in Latin America. He has stopped efforts to be soft on Cuba, to be soft on Venezuela. He's led the way under the Trump administration in advocating for a strong policy in Latin America, for ensuring that our Republican Party is a party that fights for freedom. And that's why he was reelected with such strong numbers in 2020, because our community loves our Congressman, Mario Diaz-Balart.
I'll try to be brief. By the way, a lot of people have been thanked. Han dado muchas gracias y muy merecidas esas gracias. Pero malas gracias una vez más. Me permiten, voy a hablar un poquitico en inglés y después en español. I first, doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I always start thanking a group of people that are not here. I know you've heard me say this. And I don't care if it's a small group, a large group, I always start thanking a group of people that are never in the celebrations. They're never in the meetings. They're never in the social gatherings. But we must always first thank those men and women, that 1% of the American heroes who keep us free, the men and women of the United States Army. My dear friend and colleague, who was a great mayor, and I'll tell you, he's an amazing member of Congress, Carlos Jimenez. Talked about it. Do you remember during the last elections, right? And there were editorials blasting all of us, including in our daily newspaper, saying that when we said that the left is basically, they call themselves progressives, they call themselves socialists. And yet when we would say, these folks look like the socialism that we know and hate, they would blast us and say, that's not true. We're exaggerating. You know what socialism is? That's not okay, socialism. When you vilify law enforcement, that's socialism. When you vilify those that are protecting the borders against the cartels, that's socialism.
Yes.
When you vilify the military that keeps us safe and free, that's socialism. When you criticize the small businesses, the mom and pops who work hard every day to create wealth and opportunity, yes, that's socialism. When you vilify everything that this country stands for, including the right to have your faith and to preach your faith and to pray, including in schools, that's socialism. No, my dear friends, we were not exaggerating. So this is a news scoop to some of our newspapers, including our local one. We did not exaggerate when we said that what was coming was socialism. If anything, we were not emphatic enough. What we are looking at here, what we are facing, and by the way, this isn't a secret. This big bill that has a word and people don't really know what that means. You know what that is? It is socialism, or progressivism, or communism. Call it what you may. It is to change this country, replace the free market system to a socialist economy, where government controls our lives. And you saw that in the debate, right? If you all saw or heard in the news, the debate for the governor of Virginia, when the Democrat, the left, there I call him a socialist, said, no, parents should have no say in their kids' education. Eso lo hemos visto en el pasado. Eso lo hemos visto en otros lugares donde el Estado controla nuestras vidas, controla la economía, controla nuestros hijos. That is what is at stake now. So, I want to leave you with this thought. Two things. First, my deep gratitude to each and every one of you for fighting the fight for freedom, for understanding that freedom is the most important thing that we have, and that freedom is God-given. Government is not the answer. It's freedom and the free market system.
Oh, yes.
That is the answer. So thank you. Siempre, cada día, yo rezo por ustedes. Y le doy gracias a Dios por ustedes. Porque ustedes sí saben la realidad. You know what I also thank God every single day? Obviously, that I live in the greatest nation in the history of America. But within that, I also am grateful that I don't live in California, that I live in the free state of Florida. And we are not apologetic about freedom. We are not apologetic about loving God. We are not apologetic about supporting our military. And we are not apologetic about defeating Nancy Pelosi and Speaker Dade. Gracias a Dios. Que Dios siga protegiendo. God continue to bless the greatest nation in the history of humanity. Thank God that all of you are unapologetically pro-American, as are we. You are going to take back America for freedom, for the American people, and take it away from the damn socialists. God bless you all, and God continue to bless the Americans in America. Thank you all. Gracias.
Thank you so much, Congressman. And he's absolutely right. We're so lucky to live in the free state of Florida because of our great elected officials like Governor DeSantis, like Congressman Diaz-Balart, like our Congressman Jimenez. Last year, while other communities in other states were overcome with political violence and chaos and rioting, we didn't have that in Florida because we didn't allow it. We don't allow socialism here. While other states were locking down, some of them are locked down to this day. In Florida, we stayed open, and that's why today the whole country, the whole world is looking to move to Florida, because we are a state of freedom. Next, I'm going to ask everybody to direct your attention to the monitor to my right, to your left, back there. We have a special message from our chairman.
Florida, I am so thrilled to welcome you as we open our very first RNC Community Center in Florida this election cycle. And to celebrate, I have the honor of congratulating Barbara Sanders on receiving the Chairman's Champion Award. Barbara's family fled communist Cuba for the promise of a better life here in America. She understands how fragile freedom really is, and this is why she fights tirelessly to keep freedom alive in our America by electing more Republicans up and down the ballot. This last election, Barbara made more than 10,000 phone calls, knocked on more than 1,000 doors, registered new voters, and led volunteer teams throughout Miami Lakes and Hialeah. Thank you, Barbara, for all that you've done for our party and all that you will continue to do to grow our party. Together, we're going to win votes, change lives, and do great things for this man community here in Florida and across the country. Congratulations, Barbara. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's a privilege for me.
Yo soy el individuo más viejo que está solo 89
Señora,
años.
por favor,
Habla todos los políticos, pero nunca recogen un punto en público. ¿Cuándo nosotros, los soques, como estamos por ustedes políticos, nos van a dejar hablar? Yo tengo cosas que decir, tengo 89 años, he visto más con todos los políticos que hay aquí. He pasado 4 revoluciones, he visto 4 veces en Cuba, en el país. No, déjenos hablar a nosotros.
Ya habló.
Nosotros. Ustedes hablan siempre, los políticos, los inteligentes. Si tocan inteligentes, porque el país está hinchado, porque el país está destruido. ¿Cuándo ustedes le van a dejar que el público le den un impulso, le den una idea?
Agradecemos mucho su participación. Muchas gracias, tenga un feliz día. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Ya habló.
El pueblo no me escucha. Vienen aquí, hablan de políticos y ustedes la escuchan. Después le van a mover ahí, ustedes la escuchan. Y cuando no oyen ustedes, ustedes pueden tener una opinión, ustedes pueden tener otra, no la escuchan nunca.
Estábamos en lo que estábamos. Queremos reconocer a Bárbara Salem por su trabajo duro y su dedicación continuada. Muchas gracias, Bárbara, en nombre del Comité Nacional Republicano. Este es nuestro certificado y es para mí un privilegio entregarle la medalla de la campeona de la presidenta del Partido Republicano. Y de esta forma, vamos llegando al final, pero antes de irnos, before we go, I would like to recognize the good work, the hard work of two very important people from this community center. Mr. Jaime Figueras, our National Engagement, Hispanic Engagement Director, and Claudia Cárdenas. She's going to be the one in charge of this community center. Claudia.
Buenas tardes, muchas gracias a ustedes por estar aquí. De verdad, es un placer y un honor. Thank you. Okay. Es un placer estar aquí, de verdad, es un privilegio poder ser la directora regional para la comunidad latina aquí en el condado de Miami-Dade. Yo nací y crecí aquí en el condado de Miami-Dade, entonces de verdad, para tener la oportunidad de regresar y servir a esta comunidad, lo hago con todo el corazón. Y el año pasado yo tuve la oportunidad de trabajar para la campaña del presidente Trump y con la ayuda de voluntarios, muchos que están aquí hoy, con la ayuda de ustedes, de verdad, pudimos registramos más votantes republicanos y cada día estamos más cerca a ese gol de tener más republicanos registrados que los demócratas. Empezamos con un gap que era 700,000 y ahora es menos de 24,000. Y eso es trabajo de ustedes. Ustedes están en las comunidades registrando a sus familiares, a sus vecinos. Y eso es cómo se ganan las elecciones y tenemos que seguir eso. Entonces, con eso les quiero invitar a que regresen la semana que viene, el jueves a las 6:30. Vamos a tener un entrenamiento para cualquier persona que quiera venir, aprender cómo pueden ayudar al partido y registrar a nuevos votantes. Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here today as the Regional Engagement Coordinator for here in Miami-Dade County. I was born and raised in Miami-Dade, so it's truly a privilege to come back and be able to serve this community, especially now to the Republican Party. A lot of you are familiar faces. You were here last year, and the reason why we won so many Republican seats in the House and in the Senate is because of the hard work that you guys put into it. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So I really, not only is it about the staffers, but truly it's you guys that put in that work day and night. So I want to thank each and every one of you. However, our fight is not over. We have closed the gap extremely. We're almost there. We have about less than 24,000 registered Republicans to equal that gap, but it's not equaling, it's getting more than that. So with your help, I want to go ahead and invite you guys to return next week. We're going to have a training for new volunteers. It'll be Thursday at this location at 6:30 p.m. So thank you guys. I also want to invite you guys
Antes de irme, yo quiero llamar aquí a mi hermano Armando Ibarra, que ha sido un extraordinario maestro de ceremonias y conductor de este evento, como de todos los demás, para que me ayudes, Armando, a pedir un aplauso de enormes proporciones, un aplauso más grande que la crisis fronteriza, para nuestros funcionarios electos, nuestros oficiales electos del Partido Republicano.
Thank you. Muchas gracias a nuestros oficiales electos que han liderado en temas tan importantes, nuestros valores. Y quiero darle las gracias a todo el mundo aquí hoy que se unieron a nosotros para celebrar un día tan importante. Esto marca no el final, sino el empezar de una nueva fase, donde vamos a llevar y convertir nuestro condado en un condado rojo y vamos a llevar al gobernador DeSantis a la reelección. Muchas gracias a todo el mundo.